Welcome back guys to a really exciting video. Today we are really looking forward to be showing you this vlog. We will be seeing something very inspirational and motivating. A young rider who has achieved so many goals and has worked extremely hard to where he's got now. Now we've already seen two inspiring athletes who have already been on our channel. That was the two Bens, and now we have a rider who was made a pro. So guys, let's get right into it. So first, thank you for coming onto our channel. So what we're going to do, we're going to ask you some questions. So we're going to have 13 questions, just all about you. So thank you for coming on, and we are really looking forward to getting to know you. So our first question is, what is your name, age, and who do you ride for?
Firstly, thanks for having us on, lads. I am Joe Wilson. I am 20 years old and I ride for Ribble Weldtite Pro Cycling, which is a Continental team based in Britain.
Thank you very much, Joe.
No
along with that, what comes with, what's your current team bike?
So at the moment, my main race bike is the Ribble Endurance SLR disc. It's then kitted out with Level Components, which is the in-house brand at Ribble. So that's got on there at the moment. Well, not at the moment, it's got the training wheels, but when I'm racing, it'll have the bars, the stem and stuff like that, just your standard stuff. But then it's got the 50mm carbon deep section wheels, which are tubeless ready. So I've got some Continental GP 5000s on there as well, which are nice. And I think that's it. I mean, there's no, it's all pretty much Ribble and Shimano Ultegra Di2 on there.
Oh, brilliant. I must admit, they are like a really, really nice looking bike. It also matches the kit, doesn't it? Yeah.
The little, there's a little sort of, I don't know if you pull a photo up on maybe when you edited this, but if you look on the chain says, and on the top tube, there's like a little weird gradient star pattern from blue to black, and it just looks real smart. And it's a lovely bike to ride.
I'll insert that photo down there somewhere, like the bottom corner.
Yeah.
All right.
So moving on, guys. So how long have you been riding for, Joe? So that's throughout from when you started to now.
I've been riding since I was about 6.5. So I've been riding for about 14 years now.
Good going then. Really good going.
Yeah. I started with Patrick, actually. That's how I know him, because his dad basically taught me how to ride a bike. Started at Stockton Wheelers, just literally because my dad's work friend used to help out there, and just decided I wanted to properly learn how to ride a bike, and because everyone was getting bikes, and then I've just fell in love with it. Just kept going, getting faster, wanting to race more people.
Yeah, I think that's all.
I remember you doing that like the Peloton.
Yeah,
when I was like 13, you ripping it apart.
Yeah, pretty much.
Lapping people for fun at Prizik.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me started on Prizik.
How long have you been riding for Ribble then?
Riding for Ribble. So I've been with Ribble since it became Ribble. Before then, it's had a few names. Originally, it was just a northeast-based elite team. Patrick will probably remember that. And it was just called, it was called the Chief Skinnergate Cycles then. And then I've been with them since I was about 14, because they wanted to sort of develop a few local riders. And then it turned into having a full junior development team. But I've been a senior with the elite team from the winter of 2019 is when I signed my contract to be officially part of the men's team.
Nice. So I can say that you've obviously been there for a while now. You probably get to know like wherever you go on training camps as well. I'm sure that you've been everywhere with him, which is an absolute great experience. So that will move on to our next question, where obviously I've just talked about your training camp there. So what does your weekly training consist of? So from Monday to Sunday, what do you do? So through the week, do you have any rest days or anything like that? Just fire away.
No worries. So at the moment, I'm roughly, depending on what sort of week I'm in, because I'm going through phases and stuff like that, and what we're pushing and targeting to build out each week and stuff like that. So we're just going into phase 3 at the moment, which I couldn't really tell you what it's going to be like, because he's not really penciled it all out yet, but I'll go back sort of a week or two. So generally, you're looking at about 5 or 6 rides a week. So you're looking at Monday, which is pretty much always a rest day for me, because Saturday, Sunday is obviously your volume. And so pretty much Mondays I'm always off. Friday is the other potential rest day, or Thursday sometimes, but they often could be a light sort of cadence, high cadence session, which could be on the rollers or the road really. So them two could be either Saturday and Sunday are my big volume days, and through the week generally I've been operating on a on-bike strength focus session on Tuesday, a midweek endurance ride on a Wednesday. This could all vary because the hours vary week to week. So you're probably looking at about 2.5 hours Tuesday, 3 hours a Wednesday, probably 2 hours on a Thursday again. Let's say the rest day Friday, and then you're probably looking at 3.5 and a 5 on the Saturday and the Sunday. And then there's various efforts through the week. So Tuesdays, for example, has been a lot of low cadence, high torque sessions. So it's more strength intervals. Your Thursday and Saturday has had a bit of tempo sprinkled in, but I mean, it's been a mix, to be honest, lads. So I'd say that's a rough idea of what I've had over the last sort of few weeks.
So you've got a decent week then. So what's that, about 12 to 13 hours a week? Of what you
north of that, I think, mate. Probably averaging over the last few weeks, because we're not stressing for racing really, because there's a bit of a delay before the season started. I've probably been doing about 17 or 18 hours a week on just your standard day-to-day week, which has been a bit more, probably touching over 20 on a big volume block, or if I'm on an intensity focus week, I'm probably looking closer to 15 hours.
Cool. Still a decent amount. So moving on to the next question.
Right. So obviously COVID's affected us all differently. It's affected everyone around the world in different ways. How has it affected you personally as a rider that competes at such a high level?
So, I mean, the big one being I got 3 races in 2020. I was lucky to have the team camp in Spain still, and I came back off that, and it was like, right, guys, take what racing you can get basically before everything gets cancelled. So I got a race in Holland, and then the weekend following I got a race up in Scotland, and then just a crit in Borough. But I mean, it's better than nothing, definitely, but it's the least I've raced since I was 7, so it wasn't ideal at all. Sorry, lads. I've got a bit more. Obviously, we got time trials and stuff last year, so that kind of, I don't know if you two did a bit of that in the summer when they were sort of socially distanced time trials and stuff around here. They were allowed, so did a few of them. That kind of kept morale going. So I had a bit of a TT focus, and I'm pulling that into this year as well. So I've been doing a lot more hours on the TT bike, working on my position, upgrading a few parts just to like be a bit more aerodynamic, save a few watts here and there. But I mean, personally, I've had less of a social life than I usually would. I think all of us have. But I mean, winter training, other than group rides, that's pretty much fairly similar as it was, really. Going into this season, you're looking at pretty much a normal winter of training. There's not been any decline in volume or anything like that. But obviously, everyone who watches this will agree that a 5-hour ride that you're going over the moors and stuff like that, it's much more fun when you've got a group of riders to hack through the snow and stuff like that. But I don't know. I've tried to stay positive. All the team have been very supportive. All the lads have been sort of knuckling together, done a few sort of rides on Zwift, and we've had Zoom calls and stuff catching up. So it is what it is. I think it could have been worse. I've been fortunate not to actually have caught COVID. None of my family or friends have either. So we're still sort of staying fairly strong, I suppose. I just, it's a tough one. I think with everything that's going on and the uncertainty with races last year, but hopefully 2021 will be better.
Yeah, hopefully. So that'll move on to our next question. So, as you who compete at a high level, I know you compete at a really, really high level. So what advice would you give to youth and juniors to try and work up the ranks to be able to come and hopefully, potentially get to your level?
So the big thing I'd say to youth and juniors is basically it's don't make the mistakes that I or others have made, in that you just honestly, there's this big focus when you turn, the big one turning junior, is everyone thinks you need to rapidly step up your hours, because everyone thinks that although you're making a big step up in riding, people all think that you need to do huge amounts of endurance hours just to try be able to make the distance. But when you're in a race, the old school professional cyclists used to always say you could train for a 180-mile race, but you'd only have to train for 170 miles, because in the actual race they always say you'll give that extra 10 miles. That's I just think you should focus on, one, being happy, because I know from myself, when I've sort of had my mental health bogging me down or anything like that, it does directly affect your performance. Being stressed or just not enjoying yourself, I think, also directly affects it. So I think wherever you're loving the sport, wherever you're willing to work hard, I think you'll see a direct improvement in performance, and you'll be happier with your performance. Training wise or racing wise, if I was to give any tips, I'd just say make yourself into the best version you can take yourself into, basically. So if I was directing this at used to, I'd say, right, so 2021, you go into the racing season being the best form you believe you can be in going into it. Maybe not strength wise, maybe not just in any way really, but mainly the reason we love the sport is because there's so many factors and variables to racing. It makes it so exciting and it makes it so enjoyable. And I just say, like, there's so much you can work on. So whether that's efficiency and aerodynamics, you could literally just fiddle with a position for a few months and make sure you're comfortable in it, and boom, you save a few watts just from being a bit better on a bike. Or, for example, being more comfortable. If you're more comfortable, you can sustain power for longer. I think the big one I'd say for youths is leg speed. Because you can never ever have enough leg speed as a youth, because what you'll see is at the very top in the sprint finish, it's not who's got the biggest kick, because you're all going to get on top of that gear because they're tiny. So whoever's got the best leg speed will generally win a sprint as a youth. Bunch positioning and cornering, it's a bit tricky at the moment with all the snow and stuff up north, but just you need to have a nice combination of everything. I think you need to be, one, confident, two, happy, and three, you just need to be I think you need to be prepared, but you also need to be prepared to fail. I think in life you need to be prepared to take it on the chin a few times.
There's going to be a lot of barriers though, isn't there? There's going to be a lot of barriers what you have to cross.
Exactly. So
I agree.
I mean, if I go off me last year, so I did big panic train. Basically, I was going, right, this is my first year senior, I need to be lean as out, I need to be strong as an ox, I need to be ready and really strong for this season. So I did mega hours at the end of my junior season. I was properly gunning for it, and what I did basically is I had not really a full-on eating disorder, I wouldn't say. I'd say I gave myself a minor eating disorder, and basically I got to the point where I was getting so thin and low that I basically I gave myself anemia, which, if you don't know what that is, that's an iron deficiency. And basically by training so hard and not eating enough, basically, I then so I was going real good progress, and then all of a sudden just dropped off the edge of a cliff, and it was a nightmare. I took 10 days off the bike, where I basically just slept and had iron tablets to try and boost my iron up, and I eventually got back going again, and then COVID dropped on top of us all. So I just think, I think you don't need to stress anything. I think you've got the main focus, I'd say to everyone, as I said before, would just be enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because it's just all you can do really. As long it's everything you need to do well is just to be happy and willing to work, because it's a hard sport. I believe it's the hardest sport in the world. And I just think whatever you want to do well, and whatever you train hard, but also train smart.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, that is your best platform to success, I believe.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next question.
So obviously you mentioned earlier about how like COVID's like stopped racing. There's been a lack of it, and you're hoping to get racing again in 2021, like most of us. So what would be your goals for 2021 should you be able to race? Is there any specific races you're targeting, or any training goals you're trying to target?
So off the back of 2020, with pretty much the main thing I was being able to do was time trials. Excuse me. And with the main thing being time trials, and I've put quite a bit of a focus on that. I'm targeting a bit more time trials this year. So I think I'm at the moment, the plan is that I'm going to be entering the National Time Trial Championships. So hopefully I can perform quite well in the under 23 category there. On the road, bit of a tall order, but I'd love for the team to take me to the Tour of Britain. It's a tall ask, but we've got some fantastic riders this year, so it'll be hard. It'll be a hard choice, I think, for whoever's choosing the team there. But I'd just love to do a bit of everything really, because I kind of was deprived of my first year as a senior, as an elite man, as an elite racer. Sorry, I've kind of got deprived of that by COVID. So hopefully, get just a real sort of broad array of races with varying terrains and styles. Because I mean, I still don't have a full 100% clue on what style of rider I am. I'm quite punchy, and I do like a hard, hilly race. So whether that means I'll be suited to races in Belgium or France or somewhere like that, it's just something I want to try a little bit of it all, and just try to perform really strongly, whether that's in a supporting role for the team in a stage race, or as a breakaway rider in sort of a Belgian UCI race or something like that.
Brilliant. We are losing a little bit of time, so we are going to have to start cracking on. There's
No worries.
Last 5 questions. So what is your favourite post-ride snack?
Oof, it varies. At the moment, with it being winter, I like just something plain and simple, something like beans on brown toast. Just because it's nice and warms me up. In the summer, probably not the healthiest idea, but I do like a white chocolate Magnum after a real warm ride.
Yeah.
I only reward it if it's a good ride. I'll give myself one, but it's just nice when I come back to sit in the garden with the dogs and just have that and cool off. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Next question.
So, what's your favourite pro race to watch and why?
I think it's not actually a Grand Tour, although I think they are fantastic to watch. My favourite race to watch, and it'd be the one that I'd love to participate in, would be the Ronde van Vlaanderen, or British translation Tour of Flanders. Just because I think it's the hardest one-day race on the calendar, with just all the cobbles and hills, and it's just such a massive fan base over there, and they all absolutely love it. So yeah, it'd be a fantastic race just to even enter, let alone finish or win.
Yeah.
So moving on, I'm really interested in this question actually, Joe, because I know that you're based in different countries, as well as I know you go on training camps most of the year as well. So where is your favourite place to ride?
At the moment, just from the summer that we've had, my favourite place to ride is actually in the Yorkshire Dales, other side of Richmond, and there's a road. You guys will know it. There's a road that goes as you go out of Richmond and you go down into the valley towards Leyburn, and it's the road that bends round, and we call it the tank road because there's, occasionally in the summer you might see a tank on it from outside Patrick Garrison where the soldiers are based, and it's just a lovely view. It's nice and fast road. It can be busy, but it's just a nice view.
Yeah,
it's decent surface. And yeah, I mean, I haven't rode in Spain now or anywhere abroad for now over a year. So
yeah,
hopefully get there soon.
Never been lucky enough to see a tank on that road. However, many times on the roads surrounding it, been threatened by the signs next to us saying that I may be hit with shrapnel.
Yeah.
Those ones are pretty scary. So obviously you're in a pro team then, Joe. You've got like a lot of great riders surrounding you. Who would be your favourite pro rider?
If you asked me when I was younger, it would be Mark Cavendish. Just when HTC basically monopolised every sprint finish ever. And then as I grew up and started to watch it a bit more, I'd say at the moment, my favourite rider, probably a bit cliche, but it'd be Alaphilippe, just because, not because he's the world champ, but I just think of how exciting he makes a race. And he always dares to try to win. And I like that about him. And I just think it's always an exciting race to watch when Alaphilippe's there at the neck end of it. So yeah,
definitely. So moving on to our last question, Joe. So finally, what is your best cycling achievement?
At the moment, I'd probably say when I was a second year junior, I won the Queen stage at the Junior Tour of Ireland. I ended up getting 7th on GC, I think, as well there. But the Queen stage, it was a real grim day. I was in the break from probably about a third of the way into the stage, and we just stuck it out. And then I ended up winning the little bunch gallop to the finish at the end, and it was a good event, and it was just well supported. And I got to wear a stage winner's jersey the next day, which was always quite nice.
Oh, nice. So that is the interview done. That is all the questions finished, Joe. So I really, really appreciate you coming on. We will be uploading this hopefully very soon, and so you can get it out and so you can see it yourself. I am really, really grateful. I think both of us are if you coming on. You are our first pro, well, as we say, pro rider on our channel. So I am very grateful that you are coming on and sharing your story about yourself. So yeah, thank you very much.
No worries, lads. Always happy to help. Enjoy your training, and I hope we all get some racing in 2021.
Yeah, I think we all do, mate. I think we all just want to get out on the road, but as British Cycling have said, like the last couple of weeks, I don't know whether it's totally different for you. I'm not sure with you being a pro, well, with the pro team. I don't know whether it's changed for you, but we're only allowed to like stay local, like half an hour away from home. I think that's just because if we get any mechanicals and things like that, it's unnecessary travel for parents to come and pick us up and things like that. So I don't know whether it's changed for you. Is that changed, or can you still ride anyway?
I believe there's an athlete exemption, which means we still have to follow like social distancing and stuff. But I believe there's might be a bit of a grey area for distance. I don't want to push it anyway, so I'm just being being quite respectful, because there's lots of roads to choose from, and it's fine if I need to use Zwift for something. It's always there. It's a good training tool.
Yeah.
And
oh, brilliant. Right. So thank you very much, Joe. Really appreciate it, and good luck for 2021.
You too. Thank you for having me
on. So thank you for watching, guys. I really do appreciate that. So I hope you have benefited something from Joe Wilson, who is riding for Ribble Pro Cycling. So I just want to say a massive, massive thank you to all of our viewers as well. So I think Patrick's going to just mention about all of everything about the channel as well. So I really do appreciate and thank you for watching our video with Joe Wilson.
Please don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And follow us on all of our socials. Owen, do you want to tell them what our socials are?
Yeah, so our social media is, our Instagram is just Cycle Talk Northeast. Also our Facebook is Cycle Talk Northeast as well. So please make sure that you are going over and liking and sharing. Also following as well. We really are going up with our followers at the moment. So we just really want to push that more and be able to get some more content out to you guys. So thank you very much, and we will see you next week. Thank you for tuning in with Cycle Talk Northeast.